Time I'm fading fast, I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past, I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack, restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose, what do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need, what you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic, believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Hello, everyone. Can y'all hear me? I hope you can hear me. You let me know if y'all can hear me good. I don't see my little thing moving. I don't know. I can't see. Hey, CJ. Hey, Tat Jack. Hey, Mocha. Little Devil. Mel Tucker. Sending love from London. Oh, thank you for coming. Hey, Charlie girl. Hello, Shining. Yellow can hear. Okay, good. Y'all can hear me. Okay, so today's topic. Thank y'all for letting me know y'all can hear me good. Today's topic. Hey, Priscilla, how are you? Don't let anyone stop you from telling your story. Hey, Crystal, how are you doing, beautiful? I hope you're doing good. Hope everybody's doing well and staying warm on this cold day. It's been pretty cold. We've had a cold front come through, and it's crazy. It's only supposed to get colder. Supposed to have snow down here in the south sometime. Hey, Chris, love from South Africa. Wow, welcome in. Welcome in. We got people all over the world in here. I'm glad you're doing better, Crystal. So I guess I'm gonna talk for a little bit before I get started on my little thing, because y'all know once I get started talking, y'all know I. Hold on a second, y'all. The sound went out. Is my sound still in? Hopefully it is. Sorry, I had to mute for a moment. I have my youngest one here. You know, she's the only one. She's the only one here. She's over there on her phone. Okay. So we're going to talk about telling our stories, whether it be domestic violence, SA, and all of that. Okay. When you come out of a situation, whether it be DV, SA, or both, or any type of abuse that you've been through in your life, you know, don't ever think that you don't have a right to say your story. Tell your story. Everybody has a right to their story. Regardless if someone wants to weaponize your story, that's their fault, because they're so miserable in their lives that they have to pick apart your story and tell you you're lying about your own story. Like they lived with you, like they went through all the stuff that you went through together, and they're going to tell you, oh no, this didn't happen. Oh no, that didn't happen. No, it didn't happen. Well, some of us as survivors, we tend to think like, okay, well, we wish it didn't happen. And all of us go through certain things. We all go through certain things. And most definitely, all of our stories are different from one another. All of our stories are different. A lot of people went through worse. I was blessed to get out of my situation. Alive, blessed. A lot of people don't make it out alive, And if anybody makes it out of a situation like that, any type of situation, don't let no one dim your light and try to mute you, because your voice should be heard. Even if you're coming through, let's say, addiction, and if you overcame that addiction, your story is a testimony. Anybody's story is a testimony to others who are currently going through it, or someone who has dealt with it prior and they're not, I'm cutting in and out. Hold on a second. Hey, Hakuna. How bad is it, y'all? Hey, Susan. Okay. But don't ever let no one dim your light. Anybody that has gone through something in their life. Hey, Rocco. Hey, everybody coming in. Don't listen to Hakuna. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know when I start talking, I try not to, because I have a squirrel and brain, and I'll be like, oh, there you go. I don't know where I was at. So when I get to certain parts, I'll be like, okay, well, let's try this one more time. Yeah, I'm gonna go outside and sit. I'm not gonna go outside and sit in the I'm gonna go outside and sit in the car where it's warm. Cause it is too cold out here. Too cold out here. Oh, thank you all for being here, even the ones in the back. I hope y'all record it. Because this live, I didn't delete the first live. I might have access to the StreamYard, but I don't have access to YouTube to delete it. So, but see, today is a difference because it's on my channel. I didn't put my story out there for my story to be weaponized against me. So, we have a nasty person that is over around this YouTube sector that wants to weaponize people's stories. You know, their DV, their essay, and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, it's really sad. It's really pathetic. And I hope none of you have to be scared to tell your story. Your story is what made you who you are. And people want to call you a bad parent that you went through all that stuff like that. Okay, that's fine. It's really sad. Right. Not looking good at all. Porn revenge, selling porn, twisting someone else's DV. What? Oh, right. You're exactly right, Shining. You're exactly right. And I don't think this person, well, I'm pretty sure they can get lower. You know, it's really sad how this person wants to take people's stories and weaponize it against them as if they're lying. But if anybody wants to reach out to me, I'd be glad to give you the times, the cities, the dates of where it all happened. You can get all the evidence you need. But it's something not here for YouTube. I will not post nothing on YouTube because you know what? I don't have to prove anything to anybody. My story is my story. As well as anybody else's story is their story. And if you have came out of anything and you made it, you made it. You should be very proud of yourself. Because getting out is the number one hardest thing to do when you're in a situation like that. And I'm going to say this, regardless if anybody disagrees with me or not, forgiveness is not for them. Forgiveness is for you, it's for me. I know we don't want to forgive people that have hurt us. We don't want to. Ringing. Amen, Priscilla. That's great. You should be very proud of yourself. Jesus brought you out. Amen. Amen. People think when you say, well, why would you forgive somebody that hurt you that bad? Because depending on which or what you believe in, and mine is my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, it says in His Word, you cannot be forgiven unless you forgive others. And that's what I had to do. And I'm still working on it. I am so sorry, Priscilla. But don't ever let no one stop y'all. I've been out for 26 years, still had to deal with mental crap from him, but I gained strength and he no longer won. Amen. Amen. We all have stories. And y'all all should be proud of yourselves. Right. Forgiveness is for your own soul and peace, not his or anyone else's. You're exactly right, CJ. And that's the truth. That is the truth. Do you want to forgive? No, you don't. I would rather have stayed mad and had so much hate and anger, resentment. Oh, Chris, congratulations. 17 months clean off heroin. Congratulations. That's a big accomplishment. You should be very proud of yourself. Y'all, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a counselor. Normal person speaking on my situation. That's all I am. A normal person speaking on my situation. Trying to tell others, don't let your voice be silent. If you came out of something, anything terrible, don't be ashamed of your story. Don't be ashamed of your story. Oh, wow. People don't understand stuff like that. It's and me as a woman, I always thought it was a woman who went through all this bull crap. But when I got out of it and I had to actually go to classes to try to seek some sort of gain, get some sort of strength for myself. There was men in there that actually went through it as well. Yeah. You're going to have critics wherever you go. And it's just sad that if you put your story on a public platform, that you're going to have someone weaponize your own story to the point where you have to privatize the video. And that person actually just tells you what you went through. Because why? Because they're mad. Because why? Because they want to do revenge porn. So we do. We have a creator on here that has done revenge porn. We do. Well, not us, but she and her little cronies over there. And the gentleman that shared the photos. Who isn't a gentleman? He's a piece of crap. And they're mad because I've not put out no type of information, no receipts. And what I have to put out isn't for YouTube. Isn't for YouTube at all. Especially with the stuff that's going on. You cannot put stuff out like that. I'm gonna drop the link, y'all. I just want everybody to know, in case I don't say this again, please don't be scared to share your story with anybody. You came out of it. You might have scars. You might be going through the mental from the abuse. Because people don't realize your bones will heal. But that mental abuse that they put you through, whoever you're with, whether it be a man or female, that mental abuse they put you through is the worst thing. Because it makes you feel like you can't even do nothing. Like you are little than a piece of dirt. And that stuff stays with you. And then what does it do? It brings back your whole entire life after that. Little things trigger it back off. And it's sad, but it's true. So don't take nothing I'm saying as a doctor, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a counselor. I am talking about my experience. So anybody can come up if y'all want to. That's all I wanted to say on that little topic. This person can talk about my children all they want to. It's not worth my health. Because at the end of the day, I know what type of parent I am. And I have nothing to prove to this creator. And I was listening to something yesterday. You know, everybody regardless, if you want to recognize this, everybody wears a mask. And I used to wear a mask. I used to wear a mask like I was this mean person, like I was this hard person. And I'm really not. That mask is gone. I have empathy. Whether people like it or not, I do have empathy. I have sympathy. I have feelings as well as anybody else would have feelings. Hey CJ,
Hey, honey.
how are you doing?
Yeah, okay. You doing okay?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just try not to get into the bull crap and just let everybody know that it's okay to tell their story. Don't let no one silence them.
No.
I mean, we're in a world now that you can speak your voice. Let your voice be heard. Don't be scared. And you
Yeah.
shouldn't be ashamed of your story.
No, nobody should ever be ashamed of their journey. At the end of the day, I think it takes so much dang bravery for any female or male or child to ever come forward with their story.
Right.
That takes so much courage. And when somebody does
Hey,
come
Frank.
forward with their
Thank
story,
you.
they want to know that they've been heard, that they're believed, they've been heard, that something will come from that takes it forward in some way for them. But unfortunately, we live in a really sad world where there's people out there who like to absolutely dissect and pick apart people's truth and their real heartfelt journeys and stories that they've walked
Thank
through.
you.
A lot of people have walked through the fires of absolute hell, and some are still there, some don't survive it, and some come out of those fires of hell ready to take on the next battle.
Right.
And it's a struggle. Nobody has a dang right to ever dissect somebody's truth, to ever say to someone whether they're telling the truth or lying, or belittle their story or mock it in any shape or form. You've got the type of personality that will absolutely belittle someone else's journey and story like that, check yourself at the door. Absolutely check yourself at the door.
You're exactly right.
Because I'll tell you now, and this is, people can agree or disagree with me all the like, this is just my opinion. I'm telling you now, it takes so much for people to come forward in the world we live in today to tell their truth and break their silences. And it is living in a world that contains people who will dissect, not believe, or belittle people's stories, that actually put people off coming forward with their truths in the first place. It puts people off trusting other people with their stories in case this is what happens. They get dissected and thrown straight back in your dang face. It
Hey,
takes
Missy.
enough bravery and courage to walk through that, to have dealt with that alone, never mind go on to dealing with people acting like that. So people like that, not welcome in my world.
Right.
Because people like that, like I said, in my opinion, are what stops people coming forward in the dang first place. Because it's ridicule and belittling like that that put people off wanting to use their voice or have it in the first place.
You're exactly right. Don't let no one ever silence you. Ever. When you're in a situation like that, you stay silent. You stay silent. When you get out, when you're ready, when your time is, when you're ready to come forward, don't let anyone sway you from telling your story. And just because it's on a public platform, people want to say what, hey, people want to say, well, what's on social media is okay to pick apart and weaponize. That's the most sickest thing I think I've ever heard.
It really is. It really is.
Just because a person has hate and anger towards someone, that gives that person the right to pick apart anybody's story and weaponize it. And well, you can't do nothing about it. It just shows what type of person they are. But still, don't ever let that stop anyone from telling their story.
No.
And don't ever be ashamed of what you've been through, because really your story is what's made you who you are.
I think we'd all love to think that we live in some sort of fairy tale world where we were free from any kind of experience like this, and that our children never walk through something like this or experience something like this. It's not that kind of world we live in. And unfortunately, we live in a world where, for many women and men, by the time you see the red flags, there's already bruises.
Right.
By the time you know something's wrong, you're already so knee deep in it and afraid that it's not as simple as those people who throw things out there like, you should have just left, or why didn't you just take your kids and leave, and all this. It isn't as simple as that. We'd all wish it was. Statistics have proven time and time again the most dangerous time for a woman to leave. The most dangerous time for a woman is when she leaves.
Right.
And that's why we've got so many services out there, so many resources, so that people can make it as safe as possible when they do choose to make that step. Because many years ago, there wasn't those services in place. There wasn't services like that to protect men and women when they did leave those violent situations.
Exactly
Services
right.
are getting better, and they could get a lot better, but they have got better over the years. And hopefully they'll continue to get better. so that more people feel capable of reaching out when they're stuck in a situation like that, so that they can get themselves and their children out of that situation. Again, whether you're female or male, because men can be subjected to domestic violence just as much as women.
Okay, so I do want to change the subject to generational abuse, you know?
Generational trauma.
Yes, because I grew up in it. And a comment was made that since I did not leave my abuser, I chose my abuser over my children. Well, my mama passed away. She didn't get out the abuse. I knew my mama loved me. It ain't the fact that she didn't choose me over her abuse. So that comment alone should not have been said. Because when you're stuck in a situation like that, I never understood sometimes why, hey, Georgette, why she wouldn't leave him, you know? And then when I got in my own situation, you know, why didn't I leave? I was too far gone way before it even started happening. Like, I mean, it's really crazy. You can't explain it.
Yeah. When you
So
come into, I think, any relationship traumatized and broken from past experiences, it becomes sort of a minefield for manipulative partners, where they're able to play on your weaknesses and your traumas and all those things, belittle you, keep you small, keep you contained, and make you feel worthless.
yes,
And that's where their power lies. And that's where they keep control and keep you quiet and keep you silent and keep you there.
and keep you away from people, keep you away from family,
Yep.
keep you isolated. And y'all, this is just my story. I can't talk about anyone else's story. I can only speak on my story.
Hey,
But it's
beautiful
not right.
dream, Georgette.
Hey, Georgette, but it's not right for someone to do this to anybody, to take their story and weaponize it against them. It's not okay.
Well, it's certainly not okay for someone who's never been in those exact same shoes. They might have been through similar, but they haven't lived your life.
No.
Nobody has a right to say to you what was or what wasn't, what should or shouldn't have been, what's a lie and what's a truth. Nobody has a right to judge your life in that way, to judge anyone's life in that way.
Right.
At the end of the day, they're not your family. They're not part of your family that would know how you lived your life. So for them to dissect it and judge it and cast it back like some sort of weaponized BS, that says everything about them. Absolutely.
Oh, you're exactly right, Shining. National Support Rescue. Oh man, Chris.
I'm glad you got out, Chris.
I am too. People don't realize. People think that, when you're in a situation like that, you could just It's crazy. I wouldn't want nobody to go through it. And mine is, I was luckily to be able to get out.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying my story is worse than anyone's at all.
Survivors of these things live with enough in terms of the trauma and the horrors that they lived through. You know, that they've still got the mental and physical scars from. You know, a lot of people don't understand the level of that. And when you're dealing with not only the mental and the physical damage from that kind of thing, to then have to deal with someone tearing apart your story and judging it and critiquing it and dissecting it to suit their own narrative and hatred towards you, that is when it really shows the character of that person as opposed to anyone else.
Right.
Because when somebody is strong enough, whether you love them or hate them, when someone is strong enough to break their silence and speak their truth and try to express what they've walked through, they're not doing it for you. They're doing it because they're trying to get the message out there to the world, what they've been through, in the hope that it breaks the cycle for someone else who hears those words, who maybe resonates with it and understands it.
Right. And if you haven't come forward and told your story, no one's making you. But to the people that have not come forward and told their story and want to keep it silent, don't criticize people who have come forward.
I think it's just, don't be judgmental to somebody else's journey. At the end of the day, if you've been through DVSA, any of those kinds of things, those are real traumas, real life traumas. You don't sit and dissect apart people's trauma. The minute you've sunk to a level of sitting and dissecting apart someone's trauma, you've sunk to a level that I have no clue where you are. So low, I can't even see you anymore.
Right. And why was it done? Why was that even done? Because of hate?
Yep.
And it's sad. It's really sad.
It is.
It's crazy.
And just to sort of reiterate what I said earlier on in chat as well, I privatised the live on my channel, not anyone else. I privatised it because I will not stand by for 1 second and watch my friend be absolutely ripped apart and her story belittled and weaponised against her after she's already been through so much. So over my dead body, was it going to sit there and give you easily? You still had it and you still got it today, that's on you. I wasn't going to give it to you easy.
Right.
I'll do what I could to protect my friend. It's as simple as that. So no, Miss Jenna did not delete that live or privatise it. I did. Hey, beautiful.
Well, I appreciate you for doing it. Hey, Charlie girl.
Hey, besties.
Hi, besties.
What's up?
Nothing.
Well, I know you've not mentioned her name and hadn't planned to, but I'm going to.
Okay.
Purple, we sat after listening to the last few lives that you've done and talked about how, or if you thought you could go at somebody like that and degrade somebody like that and take them back to the time that, the hell that they went through. And not one of us said that we could.
Nope.
Not one of us said that we would ever wish that upon you.
Nope.
We would not wish you to go through it, and we would not wish for someone to throw it in your face and make you relive it all over again, because that's what happens when you do that. And maybe that's your intention, I don't know. But just know that not one of us ever wishes anything like that on you or your children.
Right.
Don't wish it on anybody.
On anybody.
Right.
So I really do hope that someday, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, but I hope that someday that you can really look inside yourself and be able to come to terms with what you've done, what you've said, to hurt people. And we know that you say those things because that's what you're trying to do, is hurt someone. I wouldn't want to go see my maker and have to answer for those things.
No. I mean, you're going to sit in a public platform with people watching. You're putting that out there publicly. You've got to take a step back and realise what you're actually putting out, because the narrative that the public pick up on is that if their story is ever told to anyone and confided to someone, that it could be publicly used and weaponized against them. That if they fall out with someone, or sides change, or dynamics change, or whatever, anything that you've told that person, or anything that they say, oh, well, it's on YouTube when that you told your story, so it's fair game to tear apart. The minute you go to those levels with somebody's trauma, that's a whole new level.
Right. It was
It
bad.
is, but let me say this. It is a whole new level, but you just need to understand, Purple, right now, that no matter what you do or say, you're never going to take that person back through that at how it was in the, when it happened. Yes, it's traumatizing now, but as
Well, I
hard
don't
as you
know.
try,
Yesterday was pretty bad because she was like, how can he do that? How can he pick up a dresser? How can he pick up a microwave? How can he pick up a table? Like, I was literally about to show a picture of my abuser. That's how bad it was. Like,
You don't need to be
it,
showing anything beautiful.
I mean, it was really like, you have no clue what this man done. I mean, it was really that bad. But then I thought about it. I'm out of that. And I'm blessed to be out of it. I made it out of that house alive with my children and my dogs and my cat.
and Purple, the way that you talk to Tabby,
Oh man.
I I don't have words. I mean, I cannot imagine saying that to my worst enemy for
No.
any reason whatsoever.
Yep.
To dehumanize someone. And it's really crazy. And then want to make a comment, and I want to clear this up. Yes, I had 2 miscarriages. When I made that statement, I don't know what it feels like to lose a baby. There's a difference. My babies were not born. Did it hurt me at the time? Yes. But I couldn't imagine my adult children passing.
And I will agree with that. I've had miscarriages and I've had a stillborn son, and that broke me. My babies absolutely broke me. But it's a different type of pain to lose a child that's been here, you've grew with, you've had memories with, you've nursed their bruised knees and cuts and scrapes, and that's a different level of grief and pain to lose a child that way. So it's still grief and it's still painful no matter what, but it's just a different type of grief.
Oh. So no, I mean it's crazy. Like I have nothing to show at all. I do have things to show, but it's not for YouTube. It's not for YouTube. Hey, deal. And I'm not going to show anything because I used to come on this platform and I used to think, oh, I have to tell my story and I have to make sure I'm correct and all this and that. I'm not like that no more. I don't care. I'm a woman.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
It's crazy.
Hey, honey.
We can hear you. We can hear you. How long is that video?
Oh man, about 30 minutes you've ignored me.
Chris, I commend you. You sound like a kick-ass woman.
Yep.
You do, really.
Mm-hmm.
Keep kicking ass, Chris.
Oh, look, devil. I mean, it's when I got off there yesterday. It was when I stopped listening to it, and I actually was glad she couldn't find it. I'm not gonna lie about that because it was embarrassing. It was very embarrassing.
But even that's wrong right there, because nobody should ever make you feel embarrassed of your story or your journey. And the fact that there's people out there who will pick something apart enough to make you feel shame or embarrassment around your own truth and your own story. Sweetheart, you have lived enough. People have lived enough and walked through enough. You don't need to feel sorry or embarrassed about anything.
I was looking at the comments of the nasty and violent people, and the stuff Cinnamon was saying was really not nice. I mean, it was so ugly. Like, and even the stuff that Of Light was saying was really gross. I mean, it was some nasty comments, and I couldn't believe it. Like,
It's called mob mentality.
Yep.
They think that they can,
Yeah.
power in numbers. They can cause more damage.
Yep. And Georgette's just hit the nail right on the head. If it wasn't for you, it wasn't for you, Jen. It was embarrassing for her to play and talk about it. Exactly.
I wouldn't want nobody to go through that. For anybody's story to be weaponized against them, just because a certain person don't like you, it's not okay. It's not okay.
It's not, but she won't understand that. She's too full of hate and anger.
Because of why? Because of the revenge porn. That's the main reason she's upset. And whether she likes it or not, she did commit revenge porn.
That's right. She's the one who did it. So why is she mad at everybody else for calling it out and pointing it out?
She did. And the sad thing about it is she was playing the stuff on her channel this morning. And I seen what Dolly UK says on in the chat. Like it was really sad to see things like that. It's crazy. And the only reason why I'm mentioning names is because those comments really got to me.
Well,
I
and
never
and you have a right to speak back, speak up against those.
I never would have expected those people to say nasty, vile things like that. It's just unbelievable, which, hey, this is YouTube, and I guess people don't have morals. Right.
Yeah,
I'm not,
exactly.
I mean, she
Mhm.
can say whatever she wants to, but I'm not going to show no proof. I'm not going to talk about anything that's going on with anything, and that's what she's mad about.
Delia Whipper, that's the thing. She keeps bringing up all this stuff from 2, 3 years ago as if it's not been seen like 10 million times, dang well over. It's pitiful at this point.
And another reason why she done what she did this morning, because she wants me to snap back. But I'm not snapping back. This isn't a snapback. This ain't a snapback. This is coming on telling anybody that anybody has a story and you have came forward, don't ever be sorry you told your story.
Well, the hypocrisy's written right there, because at least 2, 3 times in our live, she said, what right have you got to judge me in my life and all the rest of it, while she's sitting there and judging you in your life? So make that one make sense.
Right. Shiny, you want to say some things?
No, you want me to be nice. I'm not going. I'm just going to say it.
You can talk. You can talk.
I just think it's silly.
We all have our own brains. We all have our own uh, way that we deal with situations. So you do you, boo.
Right.
Oh, you're giving me permission now, Charlie girl? Oh, the boss said I could.
It's official.
Run free, Shining, run free.
No, I'll be nice because it's not. I just think it's really disgusting. It shows what kind of person she is, and anyone over there making comments like that. I mean, okay, have you never been through? Obviously, they've never been through a situation like that. Because if you had, you would know the strength of a person coming at you, and they can pick up a piece of furniture, they can throw a fist, they can point a gun, they can do whatever.
Right.
They have that ability to do that. I had a couch coming towards me one time. Sure did. And that's why I am so boisterous and bullheaded now, because I wasn't then. I was very, very quiet. Did not think I had a right to be treated well. Period. That's what it boiled down to. And that's not me now. So that is why I speak up and I say shit now. And I will stand and say, hey, that's wrong. In my morals, that's wrong. Okay? Whether anybody agrees or not, doesn't matter. I'm entitled to my opinion. I am entitled to my feelings. I am entitled to live in peace, just as we all are.
Right.
And we are all entitled to our story, whether we want it shared or not. Some of us are saying, yeah, let's share it, Because like you said, there are people out there who maybe need to hear it. If it's one person that hears something and they say, oh my gosh, I'm in that situation and they may not even realize it.
Right.
I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and shame somebody or attempt to shame someone because of someone else's actions.
You're exactly right. And I get it, people don't want to tell their story. That's your prerogative. You know, everybody has their choice to tell their story or to hold it. And
Well,
what
yeah,
helped
you know,
me was to tell my
sorry.
story. No, you're good. You go ahead.
There's a lot of it where there's like somebody doesn't agree that you know someone's saying whatever it is that they're saying about their life, their situation, their story, whatever, right? And then so they want to put this veil of shame on them. Well, you shouldn't have put it out there on the YouTube streets.
Right.
Okay, who the hell are you trying to silence? No, if somebody wants to speak up about whatever they've been through in life, they have that ability to do that and they have that right to do it. If you don't want to hear it, you walk away. Turn it off, don't listen. There you go. Somebody out there may need to hear it. I'm a strong believer in you are exactly where you're supposed to be when you're there. You're hearing what you're supposed to hear when you're supposed to hear it. And if you actually listen to people, you may actually hear something and it may register with you that, hey, you know what? I did need to hear that right now. And you didn't even realize it. Right? I'm a strong believer in that. And the whole thing of putting shame on someone for speaking up and saying whatever it is, putting something out on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, wherever it is they're putting it. Why? Because you think you have that kind of control and power over someone to try and shame them for speaking? You're no better than whoever it is. Maybe it's abuse they're speaking on. You're no better than the abuser because this is exactly what you're doing. Is you're trying to silence someone and not expose the abuse that's going on. It does happen. People go through it every day. Right now, there is somebody going through hell.
Right. You're exactly right. Thinking that they can't get out because that's what they deserve.
Well, it's whatever they're thinking. I don't know what someone's thinking. I know what I thought when I was in the situation, you know.
Same here.
But, you know, whatever they're thinking, however they're feeling, I'm not going to tell somebody what they're thinking or how they're
Right.
feeling about a situation.
Right.
Let them
That's
tell it. Let them tell you if they want to.
Hey,
It's
Chief
not for
Girl.
me to put the thoughts into their head. It's not for me to decide what they're thinking. It's not up to me to make that decision of what someone is wanting to share with whoever they want to share it with. None of us have that call over anyone else. And I think that's what really pisses people off like her. She thinks she should rule. And the people who are following her and going along with it, they think they have a right to tell people what they should discuss. Again, if you don't want to hear what is being said, click off.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
And exactly, Jeep Girl, people shouldn't have to live in fear that if they come forward and they're brave enough to come forward and share some of their truth, that it is going to be used just like she did and been thrown back in their face and weaponized. Because it is people like that that is the reason why people won't speak out about what they've walked through in their abuse.
Hey, Texas Tornado.
Exactly.
Right.
But I'll tell you this, if you know what, it's how I feel about it for me. I had to be in a place for myself, right? My mental state had to be really solid before I even started discussing letting people know what was going on. Okay? Because in that situation, there is a little bit of a shame. For me, there was, you know, like, oh my gosh, you know, it's the whole psychological aspect of it, right? Now I'm like, F you. No, nobody deserves that. Does not matter what's going on. Nobody deserves to be hit, beat, talked down to, treated like a piece of crap, feeling like you're under their thumb all the time. Nobody deserves that.
Right.
And mentally, you've got to be in a place where when you do tell your story, and this is just for me, okay? When someone like her and her little cronies, when they come back and clap back with the shit that they're clapping back with, you know what? It doesn't bother me because it shows your ignorance and how stupid you are. That's it. That doesn't reflect on me. It does not reflect on my story. I'm not the one
100.
who did the shit.
Right.
So mentally, I'm y'all know I'm bullheaded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit, you know.
A little bit.
But there's a reason why I'm bullheaded. There absolutely is a reason why I am, and I'm not going to change. Now, I went through a period where I was really overbearing with it, and there are times that I probably still get that way, of course, but I've kind of learned to tone it down a little bit. But I have that in me now where, like I said, when somebody does shit like this, I'm like, screw you, man. You're nothing to me. You are absolutely nothing to me. You're not going to take away from my story. You will not devalue anything that I've been through. You're not going to sit there and make the abuser seem like they're the hero. Because
Right.
ultimately, that's kind of what you're doing, you know? So that's why, I do fear, like, if somebody does go, step up to tell their story, even if they're not ready to or they don't want to. Some people never want to. That's great. That's fine. That's on you. But for me, just being mentally prepared for those ignorant anuses out there, okay, that think that it's going to hurt you. No, and I look at it like this. No matter what Park Diddy and her crew say, trust me, sweetheart, I was married to a man who could outdo you all day long.
Right.
I survived him. I got out. I'm on the other side. I had biological parents who could have destroyed all day long better than what they're doing. So I survived that. They're nothing. They mean absolutely nothing to me. There's nothing you could do to say or hurt me that hasn't already been done, and worse. So, again, mentally, I'm good.
Right.
And I just, I do fear that if somebody is not in a position where they can be very strong footed and just, not take it to heart when somebody like that says some shit about their story. Don't let it mentally get to you. And I'm just saying, this is just where my mind's at, where I feel bad where somebody is going to step up and say something and they let someone like that affect them
Yeah.
and make them feel a certain kind of way. You know what I mean? Just, man, look at it like this. You came through it. You're strong. You've come through it, man. There is no fear in me at all as far as that kind of shit anymore.
Right. You're exactly right.
It's my favourite saying. I've already walked through the fires of hell and survived. There ain't no asshole on the planet that will ever, ever make me afraid because I've already survived. I've already survived the worst shit ever. There's nothing that anybody could throw at me now that would ever make me go back to any kind of place like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, hey, if you're trying to compete with you need me to give you his number. You need to call him. You need to get with him because you got a few things to learn. You can't
got a few
compete.
things in common.
Mm-hmm.
Both like to hurt
You're
people.
attempting. Yeah. It's like, okay, whatever.
Like I said, in you're so right there, Chris and Jeep Girl. Shame is one of the hardest things to overcome. It really, really is. The shame and the guilt. And when it takes someone, when someone gets brave enough to get to that a point, for some they don't, for some do want their voice, and if somebody does want their voice, it takes so much bravery and dang courage to speak your truth, whether you write it down or speak it in verbal ways. There's for you to give your truth in any shape or form takes courage and dang bravery. For anyone to take that apart, to weaponize it and attach shame to it, no, you've just put yourself in a different league. And that's in the league of people who like to hurt people and use their traumas and their triggers to cause more wounds. You're in a whole different league now.
I don't think anybody should be ashamed of their story.
No.
They
And
shouldn't
nobody
be.
should ever be frightened to come forward and speak their story in case idiots out there decide to use it because they don't like someone and weaponize your words.
Hey, Iris.
Yeah, that's true. But I always say the shame is not on me. And I had to, it took a while for me to get to that point. That shame is not mine to bear. I'm not the one who did that crap.
Right.
The blame,
The shame-
shame, it lies with the abuser and the abuser alone,
Exactly.
never the person
Exactly.
that caused harm to.
Right, Jeep Girl. It's crazy. I just don't get it. And she wants so much proof, but yet she's getting none. And she won't get none. Iris, you want to come up or are you still decorating your house?
Girl, she's still working through that stuff.
She's knee deep.
Yeah, knee deep, man.
Charlie girl jumped down.
Oh, she gone. She gone. Bye, Felicia.
She's gone.
She rage quit. You see that? She was rage quitting. Oh my goodness.
Nothing. She just jumped off. I'll drop the link for you, Iris. If you want to come up. If you want to take like a 5-minute break, join the party, girl.
You mean Gerald? You mean Gerald?
Girl. Girl.
Charlie girl's not even up here to say it.
Gerald.
Hey, Gerald. Hey.
Come
Hey,
take
that
a break
means
from
that-
Christmas throwing up, Iris.
You're sitting there. You're making a mistake. It's not Jeep girl. It's Geep girl.
Girl. Geek girl.
Geep girl. Geep girl.
Girl might not get that.
Well, some people can't tell the difference between a G and a J. Just saying.
No,
Well, hey,
That's
just
that's hard.
apologize. Okay, well, come back up. I dropped the link. I know you're up.
I know I've
Probably
seen
lost
that our Charlie girl get a kind of royal apology.
Yeah, she got an apology.
I wouldn't say it was royal, honey. Not even close.
Well, the fact that
Unless
Purple
you're-
said words I'm sorry. is
Unless
just like
unless you're comparing her to King Henry V, maybe.
Oh, man.
Oh, you know what I made last night, y'all?
What'd you make?
Dana was asleep. I made those, I do the funnel cakes. Well, I did funnel cake bites. Oh, yeah, they were good. Got up this morning, they're gone. They're gone. Somebody got to the last ones that were left. What?
I got on much early last night. I couldn't do it. I was tired.
I'm on that night shift routine. So then I'm like, oh.
And also, I do want to say this, Charlie girl, and she is right, because when I say some things, it's not actually the correct. If you don't know me, you're not going to understand what I'm saying.
Girl, we
Yeah.
know you and we don't understand you half the time.
I know y'all understand me, but if you do not talk to me on a regular, everyday basis, when I say things, it's going to seem
Yeah.
like weird.
Yeah, because when you do it live, you're talking as if people like are understanding you the way we understand you.
Right.
And then people don't pick up the little bits in between because we know the full stories and the less condensed versions.
Yeah.
It's different, you know what I mean? So you're speaking to people as if you would speak to us, but at the same time, they don't know they don't know you the way we do. And that's where it gets picked apart by people like her, who want to
Yeah.
sit there and think she knows you and think she knows your truth. And other people in our chats making comments as if they know more about your life than you actually do.
Right.
Which I
It's
find
weird.
funny.
I
Because
do.
they're
I
not smart
told-
enough to piece it together.
I do. Oh, she
Yeah,
wanted to
there's-
grace us with her presence.
Oh,
She's so
who is
very
that?
honey.
Iris or Charlie girl? Who is it? Who is it?
Iris.
Iris. Hello.
Hello. I tried to
do
sound like
keep-
Charlie Girl, but it didn't work out too well.
No.
Oh. So now we're imitating Charlie girl. Oh, that means you the boss?
No, Chris, you're welcome over anytime, honey. You really are. You're welcome over at Coffee Talk, Shine Survivors as well, anytime.
I don't think she knows that channel. Chris, I don't normally do lives on here. I will start back doing lives in maybe January. But Shining, the one on the panel, she has a channel. If someone can drop her channel, that's where everybody normally is instead of this panel. I was just hate bonding again. Yep.
Yeah.
Hell, the gang's all here.
Woohoo.
Hello.
Except
still
for
missing.
the indicas.
And fancy.
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 Hurricane. Okay, so let's just not talk about who's not here. Just go back to, hey, we're all here.
Well, no, hey, what you were saying, Jenna, about me clarifying things that you say, the reason I do that is because we know that it's her MO
Thank you.
to twist everything you say. So if I feel like she's not getting it or she won't get it, that's why I clarify and reiterate things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also
Thank
because
God
we know
for
Jenna
that.
is talking to people as if she's talking to us as if they know the stuff that we all know.
Yep.
No, it's like a day when I said I'm driving I'm driving. But prior to that, I said I was driving when my daughter came in your chat. But then right after that, it says I'm driving. Like I was sitting on my porch on my swing. But prior to that, because she played it today, it says I was driving when my daughter came in here. And then they were saying something on their panel, and I said, I'm driving. Right?
Yeah.
Someone-
You were explaining what happened when Destiny went up there, and you said, I'm driving, and blah, blah, blah.
Right. Chris, this right here is Shining's. I just highlighted it. It's Shining's channel. If you want to, we're glad you came in today. If you want to sub to that channel, and that's where everybody normally is at. I have 42 staples after a caliper my head. Wow.
Who dropped down again? Oh, was it Charlie Girl?
Oh my gosh. Did she really? Why does she keep
Yes.
rage quitting us like that?
I don't know.
Oh, man. Charlie girl, you got us like a yo-yo today.
Yeah, she's like, if you're not going to listen to the words I speak, I'm out of here. Y'all going to hear it later.
She's like, I'm out of here. I suspect she's probably having problems with the internet,
Yeah.
especially with the weather. Or, yeah, that's true. She could have a call. Yeah. Sure, she would prioritize a phone call over us, but there you go.
No, not that time.
Oh, there she is. Thank you, Charlie girl.
I hit the back button.
Oh,
shoot.
Stupid thing.
So I missed
Yeah.
most of this live. And I kind of know what the subject was about. So you guys were talking about the stuff that was discussing that Purple was saying and belittling people about their story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's shameful.
Mm-hmm.
Raka. Wow.
You're
I can see
pretty
the
desperate if you have no content that when you hear somebody's story of a circumstance that's happened to them in their life and you have to bring it live just to belittle them, that's pretty shameful and disgusting.
It
Yeah.
really is.
I mean, you can dislike somebody, you can go after somebody, but why do you have to hit below the belt? I don't know. I guess I don't know. I've experienced some of those type of things. Everybody has their own story, but a different circumstance. And I don't care how much I dislike somebody. I would never, ever degrade something traumatic that's happened to
Yeah.
somebody's life.
Yeah, you don't go after people's traumas, full stop.
That's disgusting.
Well, it just speaks volumes about them. You know, it really does.
But honestly, you have nothing else to talk about. But you hear somebody goes live telling their story and you have to critique it and degrade them. Oh my God. That's shame on you, Purple. Shame on you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
They
just
got
because
nothing
I
else.
said husband and not ex-husband, she literally thinks my husband was the one that done that to my son.
Well, what? She
Yeah.
heard the same live that we all did. That's just her narrative and her twisted version.
Oh, it's okay, Mocha.
And the fact that CPS was
Thank you.
making sure that her son had a ride to school every day had nothing to
It
do,
wasn't CPS.
well, whoever it was.
School counsellor.
She's saying that the counselor was involved because your husband did that. Your current husband did that to your son.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dusty, you tell the story, Dusty. You need to make sure you tell it right, honey. Tell it right, Dusty. Don't be giving out just half this and half that. Tell the whole thing. Make
Y'all
sure
know
you get all your facts straight.
in that hotel. There's no way in the world. This happened when he was young.
Yeah, that was a
My
lot of years before you even ended up there.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, this person would do anything to bring somebody down to the lowest point that they possibly could, and it's just right. You're exactly right, Georgette. I mean, I can't get it. I don't get it. It's crazy. Yeah, her channel is shit. And that's why I refuse to drop her channel, or if I watch, I won't show anything else. I will not put a channel because I'm not going to give. I'm not going
But
to
you
give
don't
her.
drop yours. You know?
Yeah. Well, she said that that I'm her content, which I'll be your content. I can be that. I just want everyone to know if you have a story and if you ever come forward, don't be ashamed of your story. Because your story is what made you who you are.
Absolutely, you're a survivor.
Yep.
Yeah. And I didn't privatize it, but I'm glad CJ did privatize it.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm not having anybody weaponising your truth against you like that. And although they recorded it and they were able to play it today and do it anyway, that just sickens me even more that they've went even more out of their way to spend another day digging for a recording.
It's crazy.
Just to attack someone for their truth, their trauma. Attack them with their trauma, belittle it and dissect it call you a liar. What right has anybody got to do that?
Right.
Well, I mean, all she can do is go after other people. That's it. I mean, what else she got?
Right,
Yep.
Jeep girl. I don't get it either. Maybe she needs to play the recording off of my live the day she called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny how she plays one version, but not the whole story.
Right?
No.
Because your live in a phone call she did up on your live is whole different than the one she keeps trying to put out as a narrative.
Right.
You know what you should do? You should go and put that little section and just put it on a loop and have it
They don't
continually
want
playing.
to talk to her. They don't want to talk to her. She
So
harasses.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Charlie girl.
So what she played today, or no, did after she played you, then she was going to play the clip or something of when Destiny was over there. Did she do
Yes,
that?
she did.
Yeah. She
Okay.
did.
Was that not the same the first night
Yes.
that they started discussing photos?
Yes, that was the same night when I jumped off panel.
Okay, did she
And
play that part today?
I don't know. I was just looking in chat. I didn't. I
No, she
didn't.
didn't.
No, she didn't.
Oh,
She needs to play the whole thing.
It won't fit her narrative as she does.
Well,
No, she plays
had
the
to-
build up, but she doesn't play the results of her behaviour. She only shows any of the build up.
Mm-hmm. And then the next night was a continuation. Play that one.
Well, I think she's got most of them privatized.
Yeah, well, that doesn't make a difference.
That don't matter.
well, we've got it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got all of them. So, yeah, ready about to end this. I gotta
Yeah,
run to
ready
the.
when you are.
I thank y'all for coming up because I was having a hard time up here. Normally, but today I was. I just want everyone to know I'm not a doctor. I'm not a counselor. Please don't take my word for any type of advice. I'm only telling my side and know that. Well, I am saying if you ever told your story, never be ashamed of your story,
No.
and don't let anyone ever stop you from shaming for telling your story because they want to weaponize your story.
No. And if you're in that, or still in it, or walking through it, and you need help getting out, there's links being dropped in chat for
Yeah,
like hotlines that you can call to get some advice and taking those first steps. And if you've survived it and you need to talk to someone, the same
there's
hotlines will be able to direct you to someone you can talk to.
yes,
Please
And
use
nothing but
it.
helpers.
Jenna, on behalf of everybody up here, and I would dare say everybody in the chat, I am going to apologize to you for how you've been treated because nobody should ever have to go through that.
You don't have to apologize to me. What are you
No,
apologizing?
I'm apologizing because I know she won't.
You don't have to apologize for nothing. I mean, it is
Well,
what it is.
just know that we know who you are. We know where you've been and where you are now, and it's just hot air coming from over there.
I know.
No.
I love also wants to know if you ladies are going live tonight.
I don't know. Does the channel owner have to work tonight?
No, today's
No.
Sunday.
I'll work till tomorrow night.
Are you going live tonight?
Yeah, later.
Okay, Ulta, if somebody wants to drop Shiny's chat, Chris, they will be going live tonight on Shiny's panel. Want to
Excuse me.
I'll probably be in the land of Nod and catch up tomorrow.
Oh, you're going to be sleeping? What?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, don't
feel
think
that-
we've kidnapped CJ to come up here and play nice.
I
Yeah,
don't know. We might have.
I do have to sleep, just saying.
Right. All right, I'll drop down so you can end it. Love y'all.
Love ya.
Too.
Yeah, I gotta
Love
go
you.
and let go.
I love you,
Love you.
ladies. Love you. All right, everybody. Thank y'all for coming. I try to spit it out. Sometimes my words are not right, and I do apologize. But I will see you all tonight over at Shinings. Y'all all have a great rest of your day. Try to stay warm. Okay. Please pray for the ones who does not have anywhere to go in this cold weather. All right, much love.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings, I'ma be fine, need time and